This August, the rhythm returns. The Toronto Pan-African Film Festival is back, and louder than ever. It's Rhythm, the heartbeat of Black music and storytelling. Experience the powerful fusion of film and music that honors the creativity and impact of Black musicians worldwide. August 14th to 17th, from the Black Carpet Gala in Little Jamaica to free screenings, panel vibes, and the grand finale brunch with media mogul Phillip Scott. Get your tickets now at tpaf.com. The Toronto Pan-African Film Festival 2025. Feel the rhythm, live the story.
You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt? Or maybe you're doing okay, but want to invest smarter, grow faster? MillionaireX.ai gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit MillionaireX.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Let's stop acting like we don't see how this game is played. If you tired of folks throwing shade with a smile and keeping you boxed in with that slick behind-the-scenes racism, it's time to upgrade your survival skills. See, Phillip Scott dropped more than just knowledge. He handed you a playbook with passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy. This ain't the in-your-face kind. This is that sneaky, office space, let me block your blessings type of racism that'll have you questioning your own reality. It's time to call it what it is and arm yourself with the facts. But baby, don't stop at just peeping the system. Break those mental chains too. That's why you need 7 steps to decolonize the mind. This is about freeing yourself up top, walking in confidence, and letting the world know your mind is not for rent, lease, or layaway. It's time to reclaim your power step by step. So don't just watch, take action. Click over to Amazon.com, type in passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy and 7 steps to decolonize the mind, and secure both books for yourself, your crew, and anybody ready for that mental liberation. La Sherika said it, now go do it. Invest in your freedom. Pick up both books today on Amazon.com. Trust me, your mind will thank you.
I don't spend my money at the club. Everything I want is provided for me.
The biggest misconception about you? Nothing. It's all true. It's all true. It's all true. If you hear something, believe it. You want to get married now? Do you feel like you're that? No. It is by choice. It's by choice.
Who inspires me? Me. Yes. Me. Yeah. They inspire me, those people you mentioned.
I date mostly like married men, because I don't have that type of time for you. Oh, yeah. And you are married, you don't have that type of time for me.
What do you think it is that the wives are not doing?
I love this question.
They're not really being loved properly. You know, when you stay with someone for so long and you feel like, oh, I don't really have to do much. Don't ever be comfortable around a human being. They can switch.
His wife, one day I just see my 11 o'clock, I'm like, okay. She's like, my husband can't control himself, and you as a woman, you can't. I said, Mama, you can't even speak English. Like, I can't even understand. Like,
yeah, I can even speak English because of that's why.
Yeah.
I don't even speak English sometimes. I wouldn't say it was a sugar daddy or a blaster. But I had a thing with someone that was giving me a lot of money.
Every day he was sending me money for lunch.
Every day is when you go to work?
Exactly.
Shout out to the slay queens who are getting their thing without having to sell a thing,
Yeah.
Trust me, you can get whatever you want, like once you put your mind to it.
Watch Slay Queen only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured held, and shipped off into slavery. So don't wait. Secure your spot today. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
In H-Town, we want news that speaks truth, just like we do.
ADNC keeps me informed and him inspired.
We've been through too much to trust mainstream media. This feels like us.
From the D to the diaspora, ADNC is how I stay woke. We binge ADNC like it's Netflix, but smarter.
They speak on us, but never for us. ADNC does.
No fluff, no filters, just the truth, daily.
From Wall Street to 125th, we're watching our news.
Download the African Diaspora News Channel app today to stay connected to the culture.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream today. It is the 23rd. We are moving along. It's the 23rd to 23rd. Hope everyone is well. Guess I'm missing something today. Yeah, hope everyone is well. And tonight, let me get to my screen. I'm not on my screen. Give me a second. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about, we actually go through this particular article. And we're going to go through why a lot of white men in America are just angry. It's been something that's been discussed a lot. And they're saying it's this phenomenon about a lot of white men that don't have no get up and go. They don't even want to get outside. They want to stay in the house. They don't see nothing going on in America for them. So they really examining that. Now, you may say, well, why are we talking about this here on this platform? Now, good and well, it's an angle to it if I'm talking about it. So you better believe that. So appreciate everybody joining us. Those of you, that signed up to go to Ghana, just make sure to keep up with your payments and all of that. Just a quick reminder for that. If anybody would like to go, definitely the pinned comment there. You can click it. And now it is a land-only type of tour because, in the past, we've worked with different companies like the Real South Africa. We work with Worldviews, but now they traverse culture. And so they would have, like, at least I know Real South Africa and at the time Worldviews, they had a land only where you basically book your own flight. And then you had one where they book it for you. So in the past, we done more so the ones that you just pay one payment and everything done for you. You just show up to JFK and then you do your thing. But some companies are land only, you book your own flight. So I looked, and because everybody went to Ethiopia, they booked their own flight, right? So I looked and seen that if you fly to DC or United, going to Accra, Ghana is actually a decent price. Or you can check JFK. It's not, but if you book kind of like now, it'll be a good price if those of you who got to book those flights, okay? So letting you know that. Also, download the ADNC app, as you heard there on our new commercial. Download the ADNC app and join us. Hey, lifetime would be the best deal to get. Lifetime, yes, it's $1,000, but you don't have to worry about it ever going up on you. You done, you locked in. It'll pay for itself over a couple of years, right? Or you can do annual. It's cool. Or you say, you know what? Hey, I'll do monthly, man. I say, hey, monthly, it's like 31 cents a day you're donating. 31 cents. I say $9.99 a month. Lock in before the prices go up January 1. Lock in. And also that supports the platform. That's ours, right? That's something we own. We're talking about ownership. So support us there. As we increase memberships, there we can do more things within, our company to expand, to do more type of reporting. But it takes money. Of course, we're always going to look at cutting costs to maximize the money. Of course, we're going to look at that. But yes, the more and more you support us on the app and help us get to our goal. We want to get to, it'd be great if we can get to at least, 4,000 to 5,000 people by the end of the year. That'd be a big goal, right? We'd be happy with that. So join us. It's good if 10 people could join a stream, it'd be great. And as we talked about earlier this week, this weekend, we're going to see how it works out. So LaSherica going to come on through on Saturday and Sunday at this time, Saturday and Sunday. And then she'll still have her other time at 8 p.m. Central Standard. And also tonight, LaSherica is going to address the Boule as well. I saw, before I get into the main topic. Yes, I saw Boule Martin. Yes, I saw. Trust me, I saw Boule Martin. I'm like, Boule Martin, why? Why are you messing with me? I'm not messing with you, Boule Martin. I'm really not, brother. So I said, you know what? I said, I'm not going to mess with Boule Martin tonight. I'm going to let LaSherica get a hold of him. See, it's a little different for me now, is that I have LaSherica now. So I don't have to talk to you as much now if I choose to, or if I want to double team you, that's fine. But I don't really have to. You know, I can just let LaSherica cook you a little bit. Then if I want to follow it up later, I'll get at you. But Boule Martin, I don't know if he's engagement farming. Maybe he is just calling people's names. And I don't know if they send an email to all the shields. Say, all right, 2026 coming. March on back out there and start talking about these people again. So maybe that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I seen something on X about, we're talking about LaSherica, about Fox Soul. So Fox Soul had did some sort of post, and it was an AI post. And some people didn't like it, and why they using AI? Why they doing this? Why they doing that? Let me tell you something. AI is here. You're not gonna get around it. Either you get down with it, or you be left behind, like a lot of black people are. And while the whites, the Asians, the Arabs, and everybody else is making trillions and billions, you sitting back not getting a thing, and you being left behind like always. And sometimes when it comes to being left behind with technology, a lot of times it's a choice. So we're not going to be left behind. Now, if you want to be left behind, that's you, but I'm not. Like I said, we create a whole AI network, and we upfront this AI. We don't hide it. We're not trying to fool people. No, I don't believe in fooling nobody. I tell you up front, if something's AI, it's AI. It is what it is. If you ask a question, hey, is that AI? I'm like, yeah, it is. I tell you. It's nothing to hide with me. I believe being transparent what I'm doing. But we're going to use AI to do what we do to, because it's like this. With AI, we can cut out way more content with AI than dealing with human beings. I ain't gonna lie with that, because human beings get tired. Human beings may be burnt out. Human beings could be sick. Human beings could be just scattered in their mind one day and they just can't do no content. It happens to all of us. It happens to me. So I know it can happen to everybody else. Sometime maybe the whole crew want to take off or whatever, right? Well, hey, if you got AI, you could. You still got the thing going. So prepare your mind for that, because AI is here. All right. Yeah, I saw all that. Denise. But like I said, y'all watch LaSherica tonight. She gonna get up on the Boule and Boule Martin. All right, so let's go on and get started. Let's get started. I'm glad y'all here tonight. And I know the white supremacists and their supporters are going to be here tonight. So welcome, because I know you're going to come up. And even probably my good friend Lacey Lilly, she may watch this too. All right, so let me get this on the screen, because I'm gonna have to teach tonight, because that's what I do. I like who's that? John Henry Clark said that, right? He said he only debate his equals, all others he teach, because I would never debate one of them. Like I said, I'm gonna teach them. They're not my equal. All right, so this is article that we want to go through a little bit. Now it says, why are white men angry at the world? He said, blame market economics, not DEI. So this article was written at the beginning of the year, toward the end of the year. Okay, this definitely came out after Trump was inaugurated. This quote up here says, I think a lot of young males feel disenfranchised and feel ostracized. I don't know why, when the world's been literally handed to them. It said the real causes behind this aren't diversity and inclusion. Okay. So it's saying here, privilege is having its political moment. It said the protection of privilege by those who possess it is currently the driving force of politics in the U.S., where inclusion is blamed for everything from climate crisis, induced fires to air disasters, and a core part of the coalition's effort to turn Anthony Albanese into a one-term prime minister here. I guess this would definitely say, okay, cool. So I think a lot of young males feel disenfranchised, and this is global, okay, not just the U.S., and ostracized. I think there's a point where people are fed up. They're pushing back and saying, well, why am I being overlooked at work for a job? But when it's happening to black people, you didn't say nothing. 3 jobs running when I've got, a partner at home, and she decided to stay at home with 3 young kids. To say, while one heart breaks for the men whose lazy partners won't work, as well as raise 3 toddlers, why are men being overlooked in this scenario? Dutton says, it said they are being discriminated against on the basis of gender or race. He said, and that comes from a lot of universities who have worked on this. I think it's a movement of the left. He said, but the war on diversity and inclusion is on the latest front in a longer war of resentment and anger on the part of white males toward their perceived loss of privilege. Diversity and inclusion are only standing in for the long-term historical villain, free market economics, a form of economics that Dutton has spent most of his life championing. Now, let me stop right there, because they always come up saying DEI, DEI, DEI. It was CRT, critical race theory, which is something that was taught at the collegiate level. Then they went to diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, right? That benefited white women more so than anybody else. I mean, black folks were at the bottom. Of course, the boule would say, oh, no, DEI provided us with a lot of good jobs. It's got DEI jobs, right? That's what they would say. But hold on, let me lower this down. I want to mess this up. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the thing. They're angry. They're angry because a few things. Yes, the loss of privilege. They don't have the privilege they used to have. That was actually a pretty good statement. The loss of privilege. You have to understand, I remember even just 20 years ago, they could say something and everybody would just jump to it. Globally, they could tell a country, hey, you do this. Hey, you do that. And they do it. No questions asked. Even if it don't benefit that country, they're going to do it because they said to do it. Right? Anytime they show up, oh man, let's see. At one point in time, I remember when black folks really had a lot of white validation. Oh my God, if a white person says it, you got some black people like that today here and there, but not like it used to be. On their point of view is that they're cast out. Nobody's paying attention to them. And their counterpart that should be paying attention to them, she don't want to pay attention to them, their woman. She don't want to pay attention to them. She don't want to have his kids. She wants to be outside. She wants a career. She's saying she don't want to have no kids. And then if she is having kids, she's having kids with other men, not him. So that's why he's attacking, we're talking the greater white male community in America. He's attacking colleges and universities because he feels that that's the one place that's screwing his women up. They feel colleges and universities are places where they don't have no advantage like they used to. Then he look at any kind of program that just give an inkling of some sort of benefit to black folks as an attack on his privilege. That's why he always claiming that he's a victim, that he's discriminated against in America. He's discriminated against. Yet he has everything handed to him, but he's discriminated against. So you may say, okay, how is he discriminated against? How? Who's pulling him over, beating him up, and shooting him 17 times, and how you discriminate against when statistics show white felons get jobs over a black college-educated black man? How are you discriminated against? A college-educated black man with no record will get a job after a white felon. You still have your privilege. But the problem is, it's not where it used to be. And they are going down. It's a decline. And the anger is the decline. And because they had been up here so long, and let me tell you how bad it is with the decline. The decline is so bad for them because we see all the advantages they have, and yet they don't even see it and live that reality. When we talk about an $11 trillion wealth gap, the average one of them don't live that life. They're 1%, which they're following the same. If you study European history, they're literally following the same pattern they was doing in Europe, where the 1% among them would hoard all the resources and leave all the poor Europeans to fight for scraps. They're literally doing that again. It's like one thing I tell you about people, they cannot get away from their culture. They cannot get away from it. That's why when you see a group of people go different places and you can see the same traits no matter where they at, because it's culture at that point. It's culture. Now, contrary to what some of you may say, yes, we all are different in certain ways, but in a lot of ways we not. I've seen it even with FBAs, Africans, Caribbeans. A lot of y'all, all of us, some of us do the same things and have the same problems and make the same mistakes. It may be different iterations of it, but I've seen it with my own two eyes. Like, man, it's the same crap. The same self-hate, the same white validation, the same old. I've seen it. Just like I've seen with the folks. Well, no matter where they go, they cannot get along with nobody. They got to get involved with some racism. No matter where they at. You just see these things. Now, when it comes to them, they have all this advantage, all this privilege, but they don't live it anymore. They cannot afford homes either anymore on one income. They can't afford groceries either. Their skin is not producing the privilege like it used to. That's where a lot of the anger is coming from. Instead of putting blame where the blame should be, they say, oh, it's those FBAs. Then the next step, oh, it's those immigrants. But I would tell you this. A lot of you voted in Donald Trump. I'm talking about their community, nobody else. You voted in Donald Trump because you thought that Donald Trump and the Republican Party and the Heritage Foundation with Project 2025 is going to take America back to a time where your privilege is back up here. Listen to me while I'm telling you. I'm not telling you out of my head. I'm telling you what I know. The day of your privilege is over because God said it is. And the reason why he said your privilege is over and now you are in decline and you steadily, it's like eroding though. It's a slow decline. And that's a worse thing, a slow decline, because you see it happening, but you don't know how to stop it. You understand? A slow decline, which is the worst one. God has ordained for that privilege to end. You understand? Because when you had privilege, you wasn't a good steward over it. You didn't bless people. No, you didn't bless people. You didn't treat people right. We're talking about as a collective. I'm not saying a few didn't do right. I'm not saying a few didn't do good things. As a collective, you stole resources. You bombed people's countries. You prioritized war over even your country. This is why America's infrastructure is crumbling and why this place looks so ghetto compared to China or Japan. See, if you look at the Chinese and the Japanese, they didn't prioritize war. I'm going to spend all my money on war. I'm going to spend all my money on military. No, they put it into their country. They put it into their people. And that's why these people are getting past us. Like, say, just go look at the technology they have in Japan and China. We are living in the ghetto. Apple is a piece of crap compared to Xiaomi and all these other companies that's over there in China. Huawei and all them. Then they don't want us to even experience it. They'll ban it. Huawei can't come in America. Oh, national security. They don't want BYD in here, that Chinese brand, because Elon Musk will be done tomorrow. Nobody buy a Tesla no more if BYD come in here. Or Xiaomi Motors come in here. Ain't nobody buying their crap here. It won't happen. Because one thing about Americans, we like flashy stuff and things that's cool. We like that. So they're trying to isolate themselves from the rest of the world, thinking they're protecting themselves. That's what this I'm banning all these different countries come from. It's because I'm trying to isolate myself to hold on to my privilege, but you cannot hold on to running water. That's in you. You could try to close running water, but it's still gonna come out, bruh. You cannot escape fate. And I know you don't like him. I know the slow among you will say, oh, he has a hatred for us. No. I have no hatred for nobody. I really don't. Hatred is cancer of the soul. I don't have to have hatred for you. I don't have hatred for nobody. I'm just telling you what other people are not going to tell you is that because I can see it as an FBA. But see, the reason why it's happened is as an FBA, you have a lot of innocent blood of my ancestors on your hands. Do you really think you're going to carry on into the greater future and not have to deal with what you've done? So you're angry. So you're angry because you don't see the country being like, because you feel like everything in this country should be your birthright, your privilege, the money, the prestige. That should be your birthright. And everybody else is supposed to serve you. And now what is happening is him who think he should be served is going to become the servant of all by force. Now, you want to talk about AI? People scared of it. A lot of them getting put out of work because of AI too. Because see, a lot of them was getting them office jobs, those administrative jobs. A lot of them. They didn't want to be out there picking fruit and doing all that kind of like, oh no, that's for them. That's for them other people. We do all the cushy jobs, right? And AI is coming through there and like, snipping all them jobs right up. And if the AI is not doing it, then they're going to bring in immigrants on a visa to do it from India, China, or whatever else and pay them less money. So they're upset about that too. And they think that, look, and I'm telling you about Trump. Okay, Trump going to try his best to get all the immigrants out he can. He's not going to be in office long enough to do it, for one. It's too many of them for two. Maybe he can spook a few of them to self-deport, but it don't matter how many of them are deported. You're never going to get that position back that you think you have. Trump can't save you. See, I'm understanding now more so why Trump had to win. Now I'm getting it now. Because see, if Kamala would have won and all the calamities start happening to them, they'll sit up here and blame her and black people. Right? They'll say, oh, it's because this black woman, even though we already know the deal with her ethnicity. Oh, this black woman, she's the cause of all this. Black people's the cause. And see, the beautiful thing is this, is that since Trump's in office, you can't point black people at that point. And when all the tenets of the big, beautiful bill come online starting next year, it's going to be some suffering and crying because a lot of them are poor in these rural areas. They don't have no money. They need them food stamp. They need the welfare. They need the Section 8. They need the Medicaid. And once again, they're rehashing history all over again where the rich among them is going to get richer and the poor among them, they're going to strip whatever they got from them. And FBAs is sitting back and watching it all. And we look at it like, This is why, how many times have some of them made videos? You know, you talk about the Latinos and Africans and all the other ones that say something. No, there have been white people that say, black people, why aren't you saying anything? Why you think white people have been saying that? Black people, why aren't you saying anything? I get it, but you know, are you over it already? Can you please come out and say something? Why do you think they're saying that? They don't have to worry about ICE deporting them. So why do you think they're telling us that? Why do you think they're telling us to get up off our rest? Come protest, come say something. They'll play the ego thing. Oh, black people, the only people that get things done. They're great at that. They'll stroke your ego all day long. And black people not even be impressed with that. But why do you think they want black people out there? because they know black people are the only one that can make some headway and maybe slow down some of the stuff that's happening to them. But have you noticed when we stay out the way, look at God? Have you noticed that? We've been out the way. We've been like in the Bible. We in the house. Like God said to them, go in the house, stay in your house, put the blood of the lamb over your door, and watch me work. And since we've been in the house, we've been watching God work, haven't we? Everybody's in calamity. Everybody's in chaos. And we're comfortable in chaos. Let's continue. Let's continue. We not done yet. We not done yet. Tell Lacey Lily we not done. All right. So they said deregulation and free market reforms have inflicted the greatest damage on men in countries like the U.S. and Australia. They have eroded the traditional economic privilege enjoyed by white men in labor markets, and in economic policy generally, blue-collar male industries protected for generations by tariffs have been exposed to foreign competition and shrunk to a shadow of their former selves despite attempts by policymakers to revive them. Now, they're admitting here that they had a traditional economic privilege. Well, privilege is never earned. You didn't earn that privilege that you have, right? So you thought it was going to be there forever. They say removal of discriminatory labor is an educational practice has subjected men to greater competition from women. They say and curb active discrimination against, it says here, minorities. The corporations and policymakers have embraced a central tenet of neoliberalism. It said that the value of any person or anything is purely economic, and that individual attributes, gender, race, religion, or place of origin are irrelevant. Well, in business, it is irrelevant. If you're trying to make $1, and if a black person, a white person, an Asian person, an Arab person got it, you want it. If it's a male or female that got the $1, you want it. You want the money from the Christian, the Muslim, the Buddhist, the Seventh-day Adventist, you want it. If they from China, Croatia, wherever in this country, you want it. You can care less about where they come from. That's actually good business. They say this is a world, they say far less forgiving and supportive of mediocre white men than 30 years ago. Oh boy. Oh, you mean, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta go there. Oh, so you mean to tell me that the world is actually getting with merit? Well, that's what they said they wanted. They said they wanted merit, not diversity, equity, inclusion, merit. And I told y'all, I preached that sermon so many times that when it get down to merit, they gonna sink to the bottom like a rock, and the FBA is gonna shoot to the moon. Why? Because with their privilege, they told us we had to be 10 times better than them while they sat in privilege. What they didn't bank on is that the privilege is going away, and when we get down to merit, it's gonna do that. That's what they didn't bank on. Y'all made us better. Y'all forced us to be 10 times more educated, 10 times more hardworking, 10 times more innovative. Y'all forced us to be that way just to get a regular job. You didn't bank on the day coming where your privilege can't save you anymore, and now you got to move on merit like everybody else. Look at God. Look at God. You don't get these kind of sermons in your church house. That's for sure, because your pastor don't want to say nothing like I'm saying. I don't even get no money like the pastor, right? Let's continue. They say, and many of them hate it. They don't like that. Listen, let's read this again. This is a world that is far less forgiving and supportive of mediocre white men than 30 years ago. And many of them hate it. To be a white male in a Western country is supposed to be the golden ticket to, if not riches, then a relatively easy and stable life. Look at that. Suddenly, they're having to compete with women, with minorities, with harder working, far lower paid workers in other countries, and those invited here to work as skilled migrants. Their supremacy is no longer assumed, It must be earned. And that's a lot of the problem. Their supremacy is no longer assumed. It must be earned. In other words, you got to compete on a global scale, and you were never built to compete. That is the problem. That is your problem. You was built to have a privilege you didn't earn. Everybody else had to compete against each other. The FBA in particular, not only we had to compete, we were being sabotaged. So we had to work through your sabotage. While you sat in privilege, FBA had to deal with your sabotage constantly. Everywhere we go, we getting sabotaged by you. Sabotage our businesses, sabotage our education, sabotage our kids. We try to sell our homes. You try to lower the value of our home just because we black. That's sabotage, economic sabotage. We want a business loan, we can't get it, economic sabotage. We want a home loan, even with a 700 plus credit score, and we can't get it, economic sabotage. You have a lot that you got to answer for. And I say it, it's just getting started. It's not there yet. You complaining now just because you got to compete with the world? A person like me, I love the world competition. I'm trying to feed off the world. I'm trying to find out what's going on in this country, what's going on in that country. Man, I want to see this. Man, I want to see that. Man, I'm like, man, I want to go to China now. I got to see all this tech they got. I'm just so impressed with the tech. I'm like, and how can we bring some of that tech here into what we're doing to deliver our messaging? They got some tech in Japan. I got to go see that. And if I need to buy it, hey, I'm willing to buy. You got so much stuff in China I've been seeing. Say, man, I go to China, I got to have a bag because I got to bring stuff back. Man, I got to bring some stuff back. But they never thought this day would come, that they will sit here. And like I said, they trying their best to stop it, y'all. They trying. And they can't do it. And what's going to happen? The rich among them, they're going to be fine. They're going to have homes in other countries. They're going to be living good. But they're going to be relegated to what they were in Europe, peasants. Not us. Oh, no, not us. Because we've been built to be at the top by them. That's why they keep coming to us. Hey, black people, what do you do to make it? Hey, black people, so I lost my job. How do you guys deal with that? Because I know it happens to you a lot. Yeah, it do. What you asking? Well, I don't know what to do. Like trust me, they gonna be coming to you, brothers and sisters, so much within the next few years. You gonna feel bad for them. No, genuinely, you gonna feel bad for them. They gonna look like that they have been through the ringer. They gonna look like they've been crying. I'm talking about just in general. I'm talking about not just the male, the female too. They gonna look like they've been crying. They gonna be so spent because of all the suffering they gonna endure with this Trump administration. Y'all think the immigrants are, that's bad with the, no. What's coming their path? Not gonna be that. Oh no, it's gonna be economic suffering and great reduction in privilege. Like Donald Trump, which y'all don't understand. He is a blessing from God that y'all, for y'all, that y'all think he's not a blessing. He is. Pay attention to what that man is doing. That man is literally tearing down the Western world. Globally, he's tearing it down. Bit by bit, brick by brick, he's literally destroying the Western world. He's doing it. This man haven't been in office a year. And look at the global calamity this man has caused. Look at the calamity he's caused in this country. He ain't been in office a year yet. This man been in office almost going on 7 months. You know, you look at the Bible, certain kings were raised up to bring up a nation and bring it into godliness. And some kings have come in to bring judgment and sometimes destroy a nation too. And both kings were sent by God himself. I'm glad. Listen, you should be glad that Kamala's not the president. So they can't blame her, right? And put it on us. Because that's what they'll do. They'll put it on us. But let's continue. Let's continue. Y'all enjoying yourself tonight? Y'all enjoying y'all sermon tonight? All right. That line right there, their supremacy is no longer assumed, it must be earned. That is a line right there. They said, moreover, women have less and less choice about entering the workforce. Our market economy has made it virtually impossible to live in a major city and own a house without two incomes. Blaming diversity and inclusion is only a cover for the bitter resentment at the economic political system that privileges economic and financial power over any form of power and the cultural beliefs of citizens. They said the other thing that has dudded men in our aging population that has required massive investment in health and caring services as our need for medical services and aged care has soared, but those are overwhelmingly female occupations, meaning female participation has rocketed while male participation has stagnated, though interestingly, it rose in 2024, presumably driven by the financial pressure of higher interest rates. Add that modern market economy needs well-trained workers, necessitating massive investment in the female-dominated education sector. And you got all the major modern economic trends lined up against men. Now we're talking about white men in particular. Is that even if they remain politically and economically dominant. So everything's against them, even though they're politically and economically dominant. But here's the problem with that. Only the 1% is politically and economically dominant. The average white man is not politically and economically dominant. He's not. He's poor. He's poor. But none of that makes the resentment of white males any less real. Say resentment persists even though we're wealthier than the economy was closed off from competition, even though economic growth is stronger. They say when we include all sections of the population, even though we can better all afford the health and care and services that are seen our life expectancies, including those of men, as they increased substantially over the last 2 decades. And they talking about all of that. And now let me see here. Okay, we almost to the end. It said the problem is men's relatively privilege have eroded compared to everyone else's. Now look, the men he's speaking about, white men, he said their relative privilege has eroded. Now this is a white man saying their privilege has eroded, okay? There's not just Phil telling y'all this. They even admitting their privilege have eroded. Now who eroded their privilege? Who eroded it? Sure it wasn't us. Is that even if they're doing better than their older brothers or their fathers or grandfathers were, even a loss of relative privilege breeds resentment and backlash. Listen to that. Because I don't have my privilege, that's where the anger comes from. That's why I have resentment and backlash. It's a U.S. politician discovered this in the 1960s when they were a bipartisan move resisted only by a section of the Democratic Party, Democrats, to end blatant discrimination against black Americans. They say the focus on civil rights and economic opportunity for black Americans, particularly when applied on the ground in the form of the politically toxic issue of busing, angered white Americans. Riots in poverty-stricken urban areas became a catalyst for a white backlash. They helped prepare Richard Nixon to the White House in 1968. They say for white Americans, economic opportunity is a finite resource. Sharing it means less for them. Yes, because they're selfish. And say whatever the broader economic benefits nationally and globally, it's the same zero-sum game that drove hostility towards an indigenous voice of parliament here in their country, right? He said the opportunity to influence policymaking is a finite resource. Giving more to the indigenous people via a form of structure must automatically take something away from white Australians. He said even if no one could ever explain exactly what. They say the lesson for politicians is mess with the privilege of white people and particularly white men at your peril. Even if it makes economic sense, privilege is not relinquished easily and not without anger and bitterness. And we're flooded with that right now. Now this, like I say, this article is out of Australia, and yet that's still the Western world. The UK is not doing well. The EU is not doing well. They're not happy. They're being flooded with immigrants. Why? Because the EU took resources and bombed and do all kinds of different things into these people's countries. If you destroy people's countries, if you corrupt their leaders, if you do all that, they're going to leave. So if the best way to stop immigration is to help those countries do well so they don't have to come to your country. That's like if you told me, Phil, how you fix immigration, that's how I fix it. I'll say, look, what do we got to do to help y'all? Because we don't need to see all this immigration. So what can we do to help y'all? What can we do? Because trust me, the better your people are, because most people don't want to leave their country. If they can stay and eat good, do good, most people don't want to come over here. I've talked to many people, even in the African continent, they say they don't want to come over here. It's the only reason they'll come over here, they say, is for vacation, or some say, I'd like to just get a job and work and get my money up and come back. You know, I've heard plenty of people in South Africa say that. I was get my money up and just come back here. I don't really want to be in America like that. And I say, you ain't missing nothing in America. So you got it good here in South Africa. Trust me. I say, you do not want to be over there. Trust me, you don't. I say, I'm happy with y'all. I say, them people over there. And I'm not talking about FBAs. FBAs not my problem. I'm talking about these folks. But the biggest issue is that decline, and they're acknowledging the decline. They're acknowledging this. And FBA though, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. You understand that? We're gonna be fine. Let me see what some of y'all had said something I didn't see earlier. You say Esau end. Is Jacob bringing the supreme superior kingdom? Let me see. Somebody else. Let me see. Okay. Gus up M. I said, thank you for coming on in. Prime 1. I said, yeah, exactly right. They said that's in the Bible. Prime 1 has said something again. So let me switch over to some other screen so I can see my other screen. So that's why they upset, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they upset. It's all about their decline. They feel that, like I said earlier, it's their birthright to be in charge of everybody, in charge of the world, not just America, but the world. They feel that they don't supposed to struggle. They don't supposed to sit up here and try to figure out, should I pay my light bill today or should I eat? That's supposed to be for the black people. That's supposed to be for the FBAs. You understand? Or should I get my medicine or suffer without it? That lifestyle is supposed to be for the FBAs. They don't supposed to be for them. Then on top of their decline, now let's get to FBA. They're declining, and then they turn around looking at you, and you up here doing better than you ever been. Your hair laid, you're dressing good, you're happier. You can care less what they got going on. They're trying to call you the N-word to make you miserable and make you mad. We're laughing at them at this point with that. Or we just roast them back, and we're not even tripping on that. Some of them may try to say, go back to Africa, like a person like myself, been there a couple of months ago. Like, I was actually happy there. What's the problem? I mean, it doesn't hurt me saying that. They just, because that's why all that N-word stuff comes from. They think it, because they're miserable. They're thinking, oh, I know this going to make black people mad, and it make me feel good because now they can be miserable with me. And like, no, we're not miserable with you. We're good. We're happy. We're on vacation. We had the Blue Lagoon. We everywhere. They were so mad black folks enjoying themselves on Carnival Cruise and all of that. I mean, they were writing and sending emails about Carnival change the rules. Black people enjoying themselves too much. It's killing me. It's killing me. No. You know what I'm saying? Okay, if Carnival want to change their rules, and if Carnival wants to lose money, that's fine. Carnival has a right to lose money if they want, right? But black folks going to be all right. We don't have to be on a Carnival cruise to enjoy ourselves. Hey, I told black people we need to get back to basics anyway. We need to get back to you always talking about this cookout. We actually need to get back to cookouts. Real cookouts at the crib. Go to somebody's house, bring food. We chilling. Hey man, you put on the music, whatever. We put on the playlist. Now we got the speakers like a DJ now. Put on a playlist or whatever, and shoot, man, have us a good time chilling like we used to do in the 80s and 90s. Man, we wasn't all them going to the club all the time, and the club was at somebody's house, some backyard party. That was the club. They running y'all paper, especially here in Houston. They run your pockets with parking in Houston. Park here, pay this, pay that. The drinks are ridiculous. Like, man, good and well that bottle don't cost $17 a shot. And one time I went out with my wife and she getting us some shots, and they were charging $17. And I'm looking at this like, $17 for a shot? I can go buy that whole bottle. Why are you charging that? You know what I'm saying? But that's why. But the Bible teaches, though, those who party will surely come into poverty. That's why. Because they run your pockets when you party. If you look at most of your people that really got a bag, they're not out there partying like that. They may have their little get-togethers, but they not their partying in them places. But FBAs, they watching you, you're growing in business, you're growing in technology, you're learning that. All the ills they done to you, they see you next. They see you up next. I'm telling you, they see you up next. Even shout out to Hebrew Israelites. The Hebrew Israelites always say, we got next. We next. We up. I really believe that. I really believe that we are next to be up. And you know what? They can see it too. They can see it too. Women, I'll tell you about women. Women have this survival instinct because women, no matter what they say, they are the weaker sex. They are vulnerable. No matter what they tell you, they're vulnerable. And when women see their life can be threatened, life can be threatened, women make moves. Women will pick up on that a lot quicker than a man will. And I thought about it one day, and y'all can tell me maybe I'm wrong. This is my hypothesis. The reason why all these white women now are shooting at brothers more than I've ever seen in my life, I've never seen this before. I'm telling you, I've never seen this before. Not like we're seeing it today. I thought, are they shooting at brothers because they trying to go with who's up next? And they know he's in decline, so they want to go with the brothers now? Because what they're doing is kind of what I've been seeing with that. And we talking about the young ones too. We ain't talking about the old ones. We talking about we talking about them young ones. And you know what the stereotype used to be? Well, the black man get the fat white women. Man, every time I look up, the ones that chasing brothers, it has nothing to do with no obesity. Though they are young ones, they have no weight on them. So that stereotype that the black man only getting a fat white woman, that's not even the deal. They got the YNs got them all day long. They pull up on the YNs themselves. You see videos, these brothers be minding their business. I'm telling you, they minding their business. They not even chasing them. They come up to them. Oh, what's your name? Oh, my friend over there, she likes you. I'm like pulling up on brothers, like aggressive pulling up. And they men see those videos. And they men are so upset with that. They have groups, Reddit groups, they have Facebook pages, and they what's that one page they was talking about the other day? I kind of laughed. I mean, that's the lamest thing ever. They calling them mud sharks. Okay, I that's a weird name to me. But so they have a mud shark group. Okay, now maybe you brothers and sisters got a white Finsta account. Maybe you can go infiltrate that group and find out what they're talking about. But they're sitting up here putting up videos like that, or talking about the white women, or trying to expose who they are in these so-called mud shark groups. Okay. That is the lamest thing ever. If a woman don't want you, bro, she don't want you. What could you do? She don't want you, bro. She think you're lame. She don't want you. She want the brothers. A lot of them do. I'm not advocating for brothers to go do it. I'm just telling you what they're doing. They'll sit up here. I'm never forget on this racist website one time I read, this one guy said that he asked, when he go on a date with a white woman, he asked them on the first date, have they ever been with a black man? And the way the conversation worked with some of them say, well, what did they say? They say a lot of them think that's a weird question, or some of them just answer it or whatever. And I'm like, if you're on a date with a woman, why are you thinking about another man? That lets you know that you run around here with that inferior talk. It lets you know who's truly inferior. You worrying about another man and you're not gonna fool with her. She's not even fooling with that man you're thinking about. She with you, but you think that you can't measure up to that black man so much so that you're gonna end the date and not talk to her no more because you feel that you cannot compete with an FBA. That's why they don't want to be with you. Women don't like men that run around here being lame and not confident. Women in general don't like that crap. Let me see. Great Black Shark down there said the alabaster men also call their women who date black men the ace of spades. Yeah. Now you talking about that spade stuff. They have a whole thing called queens of spades. Look, these women put a whole tattoo on them that tell you basically, hey, it's a spade tattoo, like a spade, like the card. And they put QOS on there. And they let you know that they branded themselves to be with black men. You can look into that cottage group right there, and some of them be married to white men, and they look. I'm going a little graphic. They married to their white man, and their white man is on that Diddy stuff, right? I'm gonna use Diddy. They on that Diddy stuff. Like they want they wife to be with a black man and doing what Diddy was doing in the corner somewhere. Weirdo stuff, man. Weirdo. You don't see no black women running around here putting no tattoo on themselves, talking about, whatever the case may be. Queen of Mayo. White black women don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, so. It's weird. It's weird. But hey, not my problem. Hey, I'm on the winning team. And a lot of you FBAs and even people throughout the diaspora too, you're on the winning team. So we good, but we just kind of explain what the anger is about. So the racism going to get much more with them because they're angry. They feel like my privilege, just because I'm in here, I should be over you. How dare I have to compete with you now? That's where the racism's coming from. That's where it's coming from. So all the N-word stuff that you see, all the ratcheting up, because that's what they normally do. When they don't get their way, they want to go directly what they know, anti-black racism and violence. Okay? All right. No, I'm not exaggerating, Great Black Shark. I tell people, I know a whole lot more than what people think I know. I don't divulge everything I know, but if it comes up, I tell you. All right. Thank y'all for joining us on the stream tonight. Greatly appreciate that. Make sure, like I say, click the subscribe button. Go check out LaSherica here in the next few minutes here. And she's going to be, cooking the Democrats and the Boulay and Boulay Martin.